opening week continues in the Big East Conference. We are spending New Year's Eve in downtown Providence, Rhode Island, with two of the charter members of the Big East. It is the Hoyas and the Friars. Hello, everyone. I'm Pat O'Keefe. Great to be joined by Donnie Marshall. Happy New Year's Eve to everyone. So the long and winding road to conference play is finally here. It's been especially long, especially winding for both of these teams. Providence has battled inconsistency, and Georgetown has lost 4 players.
Look, those 13 games that you've played up to this point were all about getting to this point for both teams. Long, physical, athletic teams, but this is Big East play. You talked about it. Both teams have been banged up, but it's time to forget about all that. It's time to play Big East basketball.
0-0 record for both of these teams in the Big East Conference. Let's take a look at the starting lineup, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Little different look for Georgetown. Javon Blair getting the start. That's because Mac McClung, Georgetown's second leading scorer, is out. He got poked in the eye in their win on Saturday. Providence led by Alpha Diallo, preseason first team All Big East, coming in off 3 straight double-doubles. And there is McClung, 15.5 points a game this season. And you see what he's doing during their current 6-game winning streak, 19.8 points per game, and that includes not really playing the second half against American on Saturday. So a thin Georgetown rotation gets even thinner here, Donnie.
Yeah, I know a lot of coaches this season, it seems like the theme has been short rotations. The depth is overrated, but when you lose a guy like Mac McClung, that's a huge gap to fill. It'll be interesting to see which guy steps up and who Patrick Ewing allows to take on that role tonight.
They've really only gone 7 deep since the defections from the program, and now they're down to 6 with McClung out of action tonight. So you better stay out of foul trouble. Great atmosphere to kick off New Year's Eve here in Providence, and the first attempt of the game is off the mark by Emmett Holt. What do you think of these teal Georgetown uniforms? Different from your day. You didn't play against these uniforms.
No, I didn't. These are before my time. Still getting used to them. I know the players love it. The hard thing is, though, Pat, you got to match the shoes up to them, man. I'm all about the shoes. How do you find some teal Jordans?
How do you find teal Jordans that look good, too? Lawan Pipkins, the grad transfer point guard from UMass. And the first bucket of the game goes down for Diallo.
You see what they're doing, though. They're going to Diallo early. I would have liked for him to hold on to that first pass he got in the post early. Don't start with a jump shot other than him. Comes back, pays it off. Nice baseline shot.
Entry pass to Blair was deflected. Pipkins has an open look from the wing, and a quick 5-0 start for the Friars.
I love him off the ball. I had a chance to talk to him before the game. Tells me he's going to have a good game. I said, listen, young fella, I was taught there were 2 kind of people in life, talkers and doers. He didn't say anything. So I guess we're seeing what kind of player he is and what person he is.
So far, so good. Lawan Pipkins a doer on that 3-pointer. His first Big East game after starting his career at UMass, and a steal by Diallo.
Had some big games against Providence in his career at UMass, and one of those situations, Eddie Cooley's like, look, I need you on our team when I can get you. And he's hit some barriers too this season, but he's trying to come out of it.
Diallo has struggled shooting, not there. 8-0 start for Providence. Georgetown's largest deficit already in their last 7 games. So a tough start for the Hoyas as Allen misfires on the step back.
Well, I think that ball has to change sides of the floor for Georgetown.
Well, Georgetown's offense looks a little out of sync. Not so for Providence, though.
Yeah, I love that Pipkins is off the ball. That was something Eddie Cooley talked about, not having him be the point guard to start. And he seems to really start to relish in that. Remember, these guys have had 12 days off. They had a great game against Texas, and as a player, you want to keep playing when you get a win like that, but they haven't skipped a beat, it looks like. Eddie Cooley told us they had 2 really good practices leading up to this game tonight.
The Georgetown foul, meanwhile, was against Javon Blair. He's making his first start of the season in place of McClung. Here's Diallo. On the block this time, uses the left and draws the second foul against the Hoyas. And this one's also against Blair. So that's the last thing that Patrick Ewing wanted, already with a short rotation. One of his 6 players in that rotation already with 2 fouls in his 3rd season as the Hoyas head coach. Big improvement from year 1 to year 2, and looking to get his alma mater back to the NCAA tournament this season.
Yeah, the short bench is nice until you get into some foul trouble, and now you're going to have to dig a little bit deeper, and it'll be another challenge for Patrick Ewing to decide how long you play guys who haven't really experienced a lot of minutes.
Well, one of those guys has just checked into the game, George Murasan, a senior from Potomac, Maryland. He's played 23 minutes this season, and here he is in the Big East opener, 2.5 minutes into the game.
Well, he's got the bloodline, so maybe some of that DNA will kick in from his father.
The son of a former NBA player from the Washington Bullets and other teams from Romania. Allen's runner is off the mark. Yurt 7 battling for the offensive board. And the Friars looking to push. Pipkins, quick pull-up from the wing. That comes up short. And Murasan there for the rebound.
Would love to see Yurt 7 if you're Georgetown. Maybe get a couple touches. Doesn't have to shoot it, but just see how the defense reacts.
Well, they collapsed there on Yurt 7. Good start for Providence. 10-0 here, and Ed Cooley's got to like the start in his 9th season already here in his hometown of Providence.
Dealing with some back issues still. Boy, I joked with him before the game. We were in there in the locker room, and you know that back's really been bothering me. He's already had 3 surgeries, and I said, you know, even in the win, he was still wincing, so you knew that it was painful because that was a huge game against Texas. Back was still bothering him. He's got to get through this.
Back's feeling a little bit better so far for Cooley with this 10-0 lead. Marshall here at the Dunk in Providence, Rhode Island. 10-0 Friars. Donnie, Patrick Ewing couldn't even wait for the first media timeout to settle things down.
Yeah, sometimes you get a feeling as a coach where maybe I just need to talk to them and remind them, especially when you haven't given your big man a lot of touches. The second touch he gets, he travels, just to kind of get him calmed down. Don't worry, it's a 10-0 lead for Providence. You got to keep playing basketball. A lot of time left in this game.
Georgetown offense has certainly looked out of sorts. Providence firing away meanwhile. Good atmosphere inside Dunkin' Donuts Center. Another 3 from the wing by Holt comes up short. Good hustle, though, for the offensive rebound. Diallo kicks it out. Fresh shot clock, and Holt finishes with the reverse inside. Friars 8 points now off of 3 Georgetown turnovers. That's hard to do. And a foul by Pipkins on the perimeter.
Listen, the hardest thing in this game to do is to play great. The easiest thing is to play hard. And right now, Providence is showing everyone we're playing harder.
Alpha Diallo and Providence coming out like a house on fire in the Big East opener. 7 points already for Diallo. Providence has scored the first 12 points of the game. It's not just about execution, though, Donnie.
No, listen, you understand it's the first game of Big East play for both teams. You come out, you play hard. Effort plays, those things you won't see in the box score. That's just a great play by your senior, Alpha Diallo, digging that out. And look at this, the defense by Omer Yurt 7. That's unacceptable. Holt cannot catch that ball that easy, and then you not get any resistance underneath. I know Georgetown's thin, but you have to find a way as a player to stay aggressive and play defense without fouling. But you got to play defense.
Georgetown's first 6 possessions, they've missed 3 field goal attempts and turned the ball over 3 times as well. Having trouble here once again. Allen's got to make something happen with the shot clock winding down. Drives at the rim. They're 0 for 4 from the floor, and now Yurt 7 goes over the back.
And it's not a coincidence what's happening right now for Providence. They're speeding Georgetown up. Ball goes in the backcourt. Now you have to hurry to try to get a shot. There's no step-up pick. Yurt 7 trying to scramble for the offensive rebound and fouls over the back. Right now, the aggressor has been from the start Providence, and that's what you want when you're at home.
David Duke, the talented sophomore guard, pulls up from the top. There's your 7 with the easy rebound.
Yeah, I don't care for the shot. I think you kick that one more time and then you cut. You're going to get that shot all night long. Georgetown has showed us that in their previous 5 games. They're going to let you shoot threes. Doesn't mean you need to take them.
Allen has had the ball in his hand the majority of the time, and there's another turnover for the Hoyas, their 4th.
I would love to see something in the middle of the floor for Georgetown. High pick and roll with Yurt 7, maybe even a pick and pop. Even Jamarco Pickett could be in that. Put a little pressure on Alpha Diallo. Right now, he's too comfortable. If I'm Georgetown, I'm thinking, let's get Pickett in a play and make Diallo play at the other end of the floor.
5 minutes in, Georgetown still looking for its first point. Watson just checked in, goes for the jump hook, and they're going to stay here. This one's going to go against Georgetown and Terrell Allen.
You see immediately Nate Watson gets in, knows he probably is a little bit stronger than Omar Yurt 7. They go right to him. When you catch that ball, you just got to take your time. Let your guys clear out of the way. Maybe one more dribble. You don't want that jump hook starting at 4 feet and ending up at 7.
Diallo drives it to the basket again. He's got 9. And Providence extends its lead to 14-0.
Just playing at another speed. I mean, that's all there is. He's playing at another level right now than anyone in a, what would you call that? Teal?
I think we call it teal.
In a teal.
We'll settle on teal. No teal sneakers, just the teal unis. They're not working right now. Pickett tries to use the glass. Nothing going right now for the Hoyas.
And here's the other thing that the Hoyas have to think about. Where's their leadership coming from? You know, Mac McClung, even as a sophomore, has led this team vocally. He's led them through his play since the exodus of 4 players for Patrick Ewing, which we'll get into. But that kid right there on the bench, he leads in so many ways. They got to find someone to lead with who's on the floor right now. And no one seems to be grabbing a uniform, saying, let's go, you know, bring this thing together, let's talk. Jagan Mosley, you're an upperclassman. You got to grab guys. Allen, say, let's get going here now. It's 14-0. We need to start playing.
Meanwhile, there's an issue with the shot clock. It did not start to run on that last possession. So both teams have been sent back to their benches as the officials try to sort that out.
Let's keep an eye on this. This is a team's worst nightmare. When you're up 14-0, you got a little rhythm. Now there's a clock issue. This could work in favor of Georgetown because it gives them almost an extra timeout to kind of gather themselves.
And it's the 3rd one because Ewing called one.
That's
they
right.
had immediate timeout. And this is number 3. Something's got to work, Donnie. It's 5.5 minutes. They haven't scored a point.
Yeah, if you're a Georgetown fan, you would hope your fingers are crossed that something's got to work out of these 3 stoppages.
We got the football playoffs on Fox coming up this week, and this is the football score on our screen right now.
Now take a look at that shot clock and the game clock. One's moving, the other one's not. Got to get them synced up. Game clock is stuck.
All right, they seem to have it sorted out. 24 seconds on the shot clock. And yeah, Cooley's like, let's keep playing.
Yeah,
we got it going.
We'll figure it out. Jagan Mosley, Terrence Allen, they have to get their guys going, step up, say, let's start playing, getting some guys' faces. Got to defend, though.
Kudus Wahab has checked in for Georgetown, a freshman, and makes his presence felt right away with the block.
There you go. Just what you want. Patrick Ewing just wants some type of energy. Maybe that will be the spark.
Well, they're going big now with Yurt 7 and Wahab. With Yurt 7 fading away there. Can't get it to go.
Tell you, Providence stingy on that glass tonight. 1 and done for Georgetown so far.
And they're 0 for 6. There's a turnover, though. Mosley trying to create in the front court. Hands it off to Allen. With a stop-and-go move. Another turnover for the Hoyas. Nearly Wahab fighting for the loose ball. And it'll stay with the Hoyas.
Look, there are jitters. It happens. First Big East game for both of these teams. But you have to slow down. You got to get yourself under control. Run your stuff. Doesn't matter who's on the floor. You still have a system if you're Georgetown. Maybe Javon Blair in the game now he's got some experience in a Georgetown uniform. Maybe he can get his guys aligned and try to get an easy bucket here and then gain some momentum at the other end defensively.
Blair's got to be careful. He picked up those 2 personal fouls 3 minutes into this game.
And that's the state of what's happening with Georgetown right now. Patrick Ewing has no choice but to put him in the game.
Mosley inside. Nice little pump fake. That'll get him to the line.
Now, and again, for Javon Blair, how do you play, stay aggressive, but also intelligently and not picking up another foul? You got to understand how important you are to your team, especially with that thin bench.
It's an incredibly thin bench. If you think about it, since the defection of the 4 of their top 11 rotation players, Ewing really only goes 7 deep. You take Matt McClung out tonight, you have 6 guys in your rotation here tonight. One of them picks up 2 fouls less than 3 minutes in as Mosley finally breaks the ice. It's a lonely bench over there for McClung and the Hoyas.
A lot of street clothes. Too many street clothes for your liking if you're a coach this time of year.
So Mosley goes 2 for 2. Georgetown gets on the board after a 6-minute and 23-second scoring drought to begin this game. Greg Gann, a talented freshman from Fayetteville, North Carolina, has checked in for the Friars. And here's A.J. Reeves, who's really struggled with his shooting this season, but a good start for him.
Well, that's exactly what you want to do if you're at Cooley. Put your struggling shooter, who's about 6'7", down on a guard who's 6'3", with 2 fouls on his back.
We'll see if Blair can generate anything on the offensive end. Duke jumps out at him. Long 3 from the corner for Pickett. Can't get the roll. Wahab fighting for the offensive board, and there's Georgetown's first field goal.
Yeah, Wahab in the game, block shot, 1 in. Nice little putback at the other end. This is how you earn playing time and earn trust from your coach.
Well, they're going to need him tonight. Georgetown missed its first 7 shots from the field. Trying to stabilize things here, down by 12. Here's Duke stepping outside.
He's worked very hard on that jump shot. I love the release point. It's high, and he's already 6'6", so if anyone tries to close out to that, he gets it up above him. He'll be a special, special player for Ed Cooley.
And maybe the most improved player on this Providence team this season.
Well, look, he loves the gym. He's a gym rat. It pays off. It shows.
Wild shot by Blair. Comes up short. Your 7's put back is no good. And Diallo off to the races against 4 Hoyas. He'll slow it up.
Love that patience. You don't have to be in a hurry. You got a nice little lead. And run your stuff.
Crowd appreciates it here, too. Good atmosphere on this New Year's Eve as we get the Big East season going for these 2 teams. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Friars. 9 seconds on the shot clock. David Duke adding a spark for Ed Cooley and the Friars. They're up to a 19-4 lead.
David Duke, the Providence product. And Eddie Cooley, the back looks good right there. He's happy. Providence in control.
Hi, I'm Patrick Ewing of Georgetown University. On behalf of the Hoya Nation, we want to wish you a Happy New Year.
Well, if it's going to be Happy New Year for that man, they have some work to do.
Yeah.
Georgetown trailing 19-4 to Providence. Now, that was presumably taped before the start of this game. This
make them work.
After the start of this
we
game.
all got to make them work. If the ball was over here, and the ball was here, wherever the ball was, you just standing right there. Move so they can see you, so they can kick it out.
Trying to get your team energized somehow. I mean, sometimes you just got to tell them, look, gum it up a little bit. It's not going to always be pretty. It's just too easy right now with guys standing around.
A quick 3 from Pipkins, and Providence on top of everything else, they're hitting their shots. 22-4, they extend to an 18-point lead. Mosley's runner, and he's able to answer to cut into that Providence lead.
And that's fine for right now, but I really believe you have to run some offense if you're Georgetown. It can't be a deal where guys are just going to get theirs to try to get back in the game. And it's not a selfish thing. It's a, hey, my team needs me, but you got to do it the right way.
Quick shot there by A.J. Reeves. They're going to go down low to Wahab, who's had an impact so far off the bench, but he comes up short.
It's a good play. They ran one of those plays for Yurt 7 the entire time he was in the game. They need more of that.
Pipkins turns the corner, can't get it to go, but he'll head to the line. Jagan Mosley called for the foul.
And Pipkins is a kid who started the season pretty well, then hit a little low, trying to figure out what his role was. You know, I thought he just kind of felt his way through things instead of being aggressive when they went on their little losing streak, and you know he was struggling. Instead of coming in saying, "Okay, I'm the elder statesman here. Get on my back, follow my role." He kind of just wanted to please everybody. I love him in this role where he's aggressive, playing off the ball a little bit, not worried about looking over his shoulder. That's what when you're a grad student, that's what it has to be. I'm not worried about anything but coming in here, helping this team and leading them.
Does it make it more difficult coming into a team with some seniors? Obviously, Alpha Diallo, Khalif Young, it already was a very experienced team.
I think if you don't know the guys, which he did coming into this situation, yes, it would be hard, but these guys know one another. They play a lot together in the summer, even when they're not teammates. And you can see his impact right there, telling A.J. Reeves, great job, great rebound. That's what you want from Luan Pipkins. You want him to score, but you also want him to be the guy to say, hey, great job. Hold guys accountable.
Jamarco Pickett went over the back, trying to fight for that offensive rebound. And it's the 16th foul against the Hoyas. The 75th all-time meeting between Georgetown and Providence. Watson. Good ball movement here. They want to go back to Watson inside. Draws the double team. Still puts it up and finishes.
So strong, athletic, bouncy. Now, Wahab is a little longer, but he just doesn't have the girth. He doesn't have the thickness to stay behind or with Watson.
Mirasan going back door for the flush. And a turnover on the inbound, so Georgetown gets it right back.
And it really only takes one or two plays to get yourself going. That's just an overplay. Well, the young fella, Gant has to understand, keep them in front of you. You just can't have backdoor cuts. You might not have help behind you. Heads up play offensively, though.
We'll see if the Hoyas can take advantage. Blair from the top, can't get it to go. Out of bounds. Wahab fighting for it. The initial call is Georgetown ball. Looked like it was off Wahab, and it was.
Yeah. Got a nice officiating crew here. Pat Driscoll, Jeff Anderson, John Gaffney, all. And when I say good crew, they understand how important the first game of the Big East is for these two teams. And for them as officials, they're communicators. They want this game to be successful. They don't want you to even know they're here. That's the sign of a well-officiated game.
Jeff Anderson worked the last three Final Fours. Watson inside, and he's got it going right now. Everyone's got it going for Providence. A 20-point lead here in the first half for the Friars. Mirasan pops out to the baseline. Good hustle by Blair. He throws it into the stands.
Just out of sync for Georgetown, but the other end, they know exactly where they're supposed to be. There's a nice little flash across the lane. And Watson gets to that, over that left shoulder with that right hand. He just elevates, has a really nice touch.
It's kind of instant offense or interior offense off the bench. It's nice to bring a guy in off the bench who can give you 10 points a game.
Yeah, a guy with that size. He's going to compete every time, wants to stay on the floor. He's got those intangibles that are hard to teach.
Missed the first 4 games of this season with a knee injury, but he's back and healthy and contributing. 4 points for Watson tonight as he takes a seat on the bench. Diallo had the hot hand early. That was a line drive at the rim, and Yurt 7 draws the foul.
There's another situation where you look up, we're up 20. I can afford to take this shot. That's when you need ball movement. That's when you understand you're a team that sometimes this season you haven't kept your foot on the gas and it's come back to bite you. A lot of game left.
You're at 7, good position inside, and draws a second consecutive foul against Khalif Young.
Would love for Yurt 7, though, to catch that ball. And instead of bringing it down to his waist and making himself about 6'4", stay long, stay 6'11", stay 7. Watch him catch his ball. Look, that ball comes down below his waist. That gives the defense an opportunity now to recover to you. Now, there was a foul, but if there's some little guys in there, they're going to pick that thing off you and go the other way. Got to be strong with that thing. Keep it high. Let them feel those elbows.
Watson quickly back into the game after Young picked up those back-to-back personal fouls. You're at 7, a 7-footer from Istanbul, Turkey, transferred into Georgetown last season, sat out as a redshirt, has been their leading scorer, their leading rebounder through their first 13 games of this year. He's a man who knows a little something about playing in the post.
Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit.
You ever meet him down there in the post?
No.
You ever cross paths with him down there by accident?
I know my way around the neighborhood, and I know which streets not to drive down. I'll go the long way. Not always the shortest. Well, if I get there and have to stay away from that.
You'd be well advised to do so. Pass deflected, chased down by Duke. He's got Diallo out in front. And a 22-point lead.
It's a terrific job defensively. You get those one-handed passes, you just can't have it. You got to get back to what you are fundamentally. Providence right now, they're doing anything they want, starting with their defense, creating offense with their defense. I mean, this is just something to see. These fans are loving it, trying to start the new year off the right way.
Here at the Dunk, all Providence so far. Opening night for these teams in Big East play, 32-10. Friars with a 22-point lead over the Hoyas, much to the delight of their head coach, Ed Cooley.
In transition, see if we got it early. If not, let's get it on. Be disciplined. Be disciplined defensively and offensively and play together. You understand that?
And we talked about that, shots that you can get anytime down the floor. You got to show some discipline. You got to try to build the lead to 25, then to 30. You can't just take for granted that you got a big lead, because Georgetown will keep, you assume they're going to keep fighting. They're going to get back into this game. And on defense, that's how you got the lead, because of your discipline. Don't go for steals. Don't gamble. Stay solid. Stay together.
Well, the crowd's certainly into it, so on top of everything else, Georgetown's fighting against a raucous New Year's Eve crowd. Presumably pre-celebratory crowd.
Little zone here for Patrick Ewing's got his two bigs down low. Got to be active, though, on the glass. Just because you're in a zone doesn't mean you rest.
Emmett Holt fires away from the wing.
Joke with Emmett Holt before the game. I told him I think he's as old as me. He's been here a long time. He's dealt with some health stuff. But it's awesome to see him out there on the floor. Another veteran for Eddie Cooley. Even if he hasn't had the minutes over his career, he's been around, understands the program.
He's definitely a steady hand in this Providence rotation. 7 straight points for the Friars. 25-point lead. Here's Diallo from the top. And they just keep pouring it on. Alpha Diallo has 14 points. Georgetown has 10.
No communication. And that's what you need in a zone. You got to, even if it's not your guy, your area, zone means you have to communicate still. It doesn't mean you rest. Diallo can't be this wide open for this long, especially when he's the leading scorer. Look at this. No one is within 4 feet of him. And at some point, you got to play basketball. I've seen two guards, almost every single time down the floor, when something happens bad, they look over at the bench. You got to play basketball. You can't keep looking over your shoulder. You know how to play.
Allen has it poked away. Friars off and running again. Diallo has it taken right back. Good hustle by Mosley. Georgetown trying to get something in transition. Wild shot by Blair. And Holt is there to clear the board.
But I
He's like, settle down.
Yeah, talking about that discipline.
Another quick shot there for Reeves. He still tries to get on track. 2-on-1 here. And Allen misses the layup. Here at 7, cleans it up.
Look, you got to just chip away. You know, usually you say, hey, if you can get this to single digits at halftime, right now, if you can get this to where you're in the 20s, I mean, visually, you get this within 15, 16 for Georgetown.
Back-to-back turnovers. Numbers again for the Hoyas. And Duke skies to make the block. Ball still in play. Diallo saves it. Numbers for the Friars. They can't connect. Watson was the intended receiver.
You want to know what athleticism is? This is 6'6", going up and getting that thing at its peak. David Duke. Javon Blair thought he threw that thing high enough. That's a point guard, folks.
Meanwhile, on the other end, 3 straight turnovers for Providence.
Yeah, that discipline Eddie Cooley's talking about yet to show itself. I get it. You got to take your opportunities. The game gets it gets open. You just don't want it to get wild if you're Providence.
Timothy Igwefe, a freshman for Georgetown from Nigeria who has played 12 total minutes this season, has checked in.
Well, but he's built like a pro, looks like a pro. This is, you know what, Pat's got to throw him in the fire. Maybe he'll show you something.
That last foul was against Nate Watson. Shot clock reset to 20. Was that off of Igwefe? It'll stay with Georgetown. And here he is. There's that size you were talking about.
He's got the length. You mentioned it. Look at that. 6'11", 250, and he's with the right guy to learn how to play that big man position. Not necessarily just with his back to the basket, because Patrick Ewing is a terrific shooter as well.
They finally get one to go from downtown. It's Jamarco Pickett spotting up from the corner.
I mean, that's the guy. That's his first basket of the game. He's got to show a little bit more resilience and a little bit more leadership.
Providence has gotten a little sloppy on the offensive end, but Malik White steps into a 3 there.
54% right now for Providence from behind the arc. They've made 7 threes. And really, maybe one has been contested.
Poked away by Holt. Duke, a full head of steam with the left hand. Duke showing off a lot of athleticism here tonight.
I tell you, can use both hands. And he is just a special player. And the fact that he loves the gym tells he's going to be that much better. Yeah, I was going to say that's not good.
Inexperience there by the freshman.
And David Duke grew up right around the corner, about a mile and a half from campus, and showing all these fans that they got a good team here.
All right, Mike, you and Andy left plenty to talk about this game at halftime as well. All Providence so far, opening night for both of these teams in the Big East Conference. 43-15. Donnie, this doesn't look like a 7-6 Providence team here tonight.
Look, you choose your opponents early on, and you think, hey, we'll travel a little bit, we'll bond, we'll get together, and sometimes you forget about, oh yeah, by the way, we got to play basketball. But you have an opportunity, you know, for Providence. They didn't live up to the expectations of their non-conference, but the last couple of games, or at least game and a half so far, Texas was a terrific win for them here at home, and they're trying to make up for some lost time. And it really is about getting into conference play and trying to get to that 10-win mark when you're talking about getting to the NCAA tournament. They still got some things they got to figure out now. A.J. Reeves is, in my opinion, a shell of himself. He's shooting, coming into this game, 31%, 22 from 3, and he's a much better shooter than that, at least coming in. You know, Eddie Cooley's got some of those guys pieces who he can put in and knows he's going to get effort from them, but you got to put those games together, full game. And I keep saying there's a lot of time left in this game.
You know, it's a Providence team that had high expectations coming into the season. They were picked to finish in a tie for 4th, tie with Marquette in the preseason poll. That means the expectations are you go to the NCAA tournament. They have virtually the same team as they did last year that won 18 games.
Yeah, when you have an older team with senior leadership, you never expect you're going to be 7-6 starting conference play, but you got to put that behind you, and it looks like so far Providence has.
Some head-scratching losses, too, as it's knocked out of bounds off of Georgetown. I mean, when you lose here to UPenn, and then you go out to Anaheim, and you blow a 17-point lead and lose to Long Beach State, and you lose to the College of Charleston. These aren't typical losses that you see piled up against the Ned Cooley Providence team.
You know, I agree with you. I would take Penn out of there. Penn is an amazingly well-coached team. They play their game. They're hard to play against, especially early on. They're a smart team. Some of those other ones, I agree with you, though, Pat. It just makes no sense for a team this caliber to have some of those other losses. But I got to give the Ivy League their love, man. They are good teams, and that's what you need if you're A.J. Reeves. Like I said, I understand struggling from 3, but he's shooting 31% from the field. Well below his average from last year. 6'7". Get him some touches in the paint. Good finisher, and that helps his confidence.
So he'll try to finish the three-point play. He's got 4 points tonight. George Murasan called for the foul. Can't finish it up, and Murasan corrals the rebound. Less than 3 minutes to play in what has been a forgettable first half for Patrick Ewing in Georgetown.
Well, we got to run some offense. There's a lot of dribbling going on, but really not a lot of cuts. The ball is not getting to the second side, meaning it's not swinging to the right side of the floor in that case. And the defense would love for you to keep it on one side of the floor. It's so easy to defend, but you're not making the defense shift sides of the floor. It's hard to find any efficiency that way offensively.
First foul against Malik White sends Terrell Allen to the free throw line. As for Georgetown, you have to admire the way that they have responded to the defections from the program, because you lose a guy like James Akinjo, Big East Freshman of the Year last season, a lot of preseason expectations for him, and then they subsequently go on a 6-game winning streak coming into tonight. So they had a lot of momentum coming in here.
Yeah, Josh LeBlanc, that was their future. You know, you have to understand as a player, okay, I have an opportunity now to play more, but for Patrick Ewing, maybe it helps to shorten your rotation. Now guys have an understanding, more clarity of when they're going to play, how much they're going to play, and you're not that mad scientist, you know, in the lab trying to figure out different matchups every single day. And you got 6, 7, maybe 8 guys. This is what you have. Let's go play. And you give a guy like Mac McClung a chance to be himself. Handle that ball a little bit more.
Reeves a step back, and there's the A.J. Reeves we saw here last year. Pre-injury.
Again, it's all about him gaining his confidence, and games like this, even though they're lopsided, you can still find that shooting touch and find your confidence in it.
Here at 7, draws the double team, still goes up with it, and finishes strongly in the paint.
Well, these guys are in shape. It's got to be a steady diet of that. Throw the ball inside, see how they react. If they don't come early enough, you score. But on the other side, A.J. Reeves with the little step back, great balance. Feet look good. And you're at 7, ripping that ball through. Gant reached in, just wasn't strong enough. Chance for an and one.
Draws the second foul against Nate Watson, who heads back to the bench. A little talking to from Coach Cooley before he sits down. Your 7 can't finish the three-point play, though. So it's a 29-point lead for the Friars.
I like a little bit of pressure here. I like that, Pat.
White almost traveled in the backcourt. Mosley at the head of the defense against White. Reeves starting to feel it a little bit. Let's see what he does here. Step back again with a hand in his face. Wow.
I love Eddie Cooley's kind of giving him that little showcase area at the top of the key. He's talented. Step back, the step back right, then the step back left.
You know, sometimes it just shows up. You're at 7 on the baseline. He's starting to feel it a little bit too.
Steady diet. Until Providence shows that they can stop it. You're the biggest guy on the floor right now. If you're Omar, you're at 7. Expect that ball to come to you every single time down the floor. The rest of this should be the rest of the game. Doesn't mean he has to score, but he's got to get touches.
Giving them something to cheer about in this first half. And Mosley goes underneath an airborne Alpha Diallo, and Mosley's down with 11.7 seconds on the clock.
Tell you, that's a scary one. Good shot fake. And the knee to the side of the head or the neck is... Looks bad. He's up, though. Tough. Both players in a situation where they could have been injured. Playing hard.
Diallo got him started in this first half. It's been A.J. Reeves the last couple of minutes. A.J. Reeves on fire right now. The last 11 points for Providence. Step backs, hand in the face, head shaking. Teammates loving it. All Providence. 54-21. Providence all over Georgetown. So far, it looks like a get-well game for that man, A.J. Reeves.
Now, listen, a lot of opportunities present themselves in really weird places. This one just happens to be a lopsided first half. But I give a lot of credit to Ed Cooley to say, you know what? If they're going to try to shoot threes on their own and do their own thing offensively, let me run something for my guys. And he's done just that the last couple of baskets for A.J. Reeves. That's a sign of a coach who understands, a coach who cares for his players, but also knows how important it is to get a win in your first Big East game. And more importantly, how satisfying and important it will be for A.J. Reeves to find himself again, to find his confidence for the rest of conference play. This game just helps. It doesn't matter what that score is. It's all about how you feel about yourself and your performance.
Meanwhile, nice to see Jagan Mosley at the free throw line. Seeming to show no ill effects from the shot he just took from Alpha Diallo. Pipkins checks back in for the final 11.7 seconds of this first half. Diallo to the bench momentarily. 10 three-pointers in the first half for Providence. They're 10 of 17 from downtown. See if they get another one up here in the final 10 seconds. It's a 29-point lead. Here's Reeves. There's a heat check. And it's off the mark. Allen lets it fly at the buzzer. Just off the mark. The fewest points in a half this season for Georgetown. 23 points for the Hoyas, and they trail by 29 points. End of the first half, all Providence so far. Friars lead the Hoyas 54-23. We'll send it back to Mike Hill and Andy Katz in Los Angeles right after these messages. Way to ring in the new year. All Friars in side the dunk. 54-23. We get set to start the second half. Pat O'Keefe and Donnie Marshall, so much to like from Providence's first half. Let's talk about their three-point shooting.
Yeah, the three-point shooting comes from obviously individuals who can knock down shots, but I thought a lot of it came out of their offense. They have 13 assists in that first half. And the only way you are going to continuously and consistently make those shots is if you do it together. You know, we've seen A.J. Reeves in that first half make a couple of step backs, but most of these threes for them in that first half came from off the pass, playing together in the system. And that's what they have to continue to do in this second half. You got to keep your foot on the gas.
We take a look at the Jeep Grand Cherokee stat comparison, heavily favored toward the Friars.
Yeah, this is what Eddie Cooley was looking for. You come off of a great win against Texas, and then you have 12 days. For Patrick Ewing, 2 assists is not going to get it done. One-on-one basketball doesn't get you back into games. It comes through flow of offense and starting your offense with good defense.
So many ways you could break these down. Providence has 10 three-pointers. Georgetown has 7 field goals.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stats like that in this first half.
Listen, if I'm Patrick Ewing, I'm telling my guys, look, we got 20 minutes. Who are you? What do you want to be? You may not win this game, but show me some toughness. Show me that you care.
It is the start of a long and grueling 18-game slate in the Big East Conference for both of these teams. And again, Georgetown coming in on a 6-game winning streak, and not the way they wanted to start the second half as Holt gets free backdoor. And Providence, just like that, has equaled its largest lead of the night, 33-point advantage. Pickett gets open for a second from the wing and cans it.
And obviously, it can't be exchanging baskets. Defensively, you got to dig in at this end of the floor if you're Georgetown. Close out on guys, make Providence uncomfortable. These games turn into being about personal pride more than anything else.
Duke gets a step and uses the glass.
Gosh, just adds the space, but it's also the athleticism and the size of Duke.
Duke had 6 assists in that first half. All-around game for him. A lot of these guys getting healthy tonight on Providence. Mosley and Georgetown comes out firing from downtown.
They're going to have to do a lot of that, but this is the end of the floor that is so important when you're trying to fight your way out of a huge hole that Georgetown is in.
9 points for Jagan Mosley. He's the Hoyas' leading scorer so far. 2 Friars in double digits in that first half. Diallo had 14, Reeves with 13. Duke, the reverse. He's having fun out there. He's got 9.
Yeah, kid is special. Just has such a good feel for the game. And the more minutes he gets, the better he becomes. I know, you can't say that about a lot of players. The more they play, the better they are. But he's one of those young guys in this league. It's like that.
Allen follows his miss. Misses again, and Duke a one-handed rebound. Pipkins will fire away from the wing. Some numbers here for Georgetown, a 3-on-2. Allen right to the basket.
Just compete. That's all you can do right now. If you're Georgetown, show your coach something. Show him that you're not going to give up. You're going to play hard regardless of the score.
Well, offensively, already a much better start to the second half than the first half for Georgetown. It took them 6 minutes and 23 seconds to score their first points of this game. And I'll go back to the Hoyas off of Diallo. I'll tell you, Don, I don't know what the crowd was more fired up for tonight. A.J. Reeves' heat check at the end of the first half, or Red Panda. She put on a show.
That's a toss-up.
If you haven't seen her act, he's knocked out of the hands of Pickett.
You never get tired of Red Panda, ever.
Good hustle here by Allen to save the possession for the Hoyas. Blair, a good look from the top of the key, and that's their third 3 of the second half.
And there's got to be something to passing the ball. The Hoyas have 3 assists in this half, 5 total. The game, it is that easy if you allow it to be. If you allow your teammates to help you and you help them.
Turnaround baseline jumpers off the mark from Khalif Young. Quick shot there. Providence's offense a little stagnant right now. Patrick Ewing calling out the offensive set for the Hoyas, and Blair is bumped on the perimeter by Young. His third foul.
I love the inspired basketball Georgetown is playing in the second half. Chip away.
See where you are by the first TV timeout as Yurtseven steps outside, and first time we've seen that touch tonight. 10 points for Omer Yurtseven, Georgetown's leading scorer on the season. With a 7-0 run for the Hoyas, and now the Friars turn it over.
When you get big leads, those games are so hard to stay within yourself, to continue to do what you did to get to that point. For whatever reason, some guys want to say, oh, this is a chance to pad my stats. Other guys say, you know what, I can take a chance with this shot that I don't normally shoot because we have such a big lead. But that stuff becomes contagious, and now next thing you know, you look up, the momentum has shifted.
And Cooley going to the bench early in the second half as Blair fires away from downtown. A chance at a 4-point play coming up. And a 10-0 Georgetown run.
We talked about Javon Blair in that first half. Hampered with 2 early fouls. Playing a little bit more free. Knocked down a couple of threes. That's their 6th assist in this half, Georgetown.
After 2 in the first half.
That's right.
It was the second foul on David Duke. Blair finishes the 4-point play. 11 straight points for Patrick Ewing's Hoyas, and they're back within 20.
Who do you want to be? When you're down, you're getting your butt kicked, who do you want to be? You want to play with pride? You want to play for the name on the front of your uniform? Then show everybody right now. I'm sure that's what Patrick Ewing talked to his guys about.
Pass deflected and picked up by Blair. Here from the Hoyas on the run again. Allen, little step back from the foul line. Battling for the offensive rebound. It's knocked out of bounds. And it will be Georgetown ball. And the Hoyas have the Friars on their heels right now.
Pace is so different right now for Georgetown. They're playing with a purpose. They're playing together. Playing with some importance. They got a long hill to battle.
Cherokee back here in Providence. Different story in the second half. Georgetown on an 11-0 run. Providence was on fire from downtown in the first half. The Hoyas lighting it up from behind the arc to begin the second half.
Yeah, it's 11-0 run. They made 4 of their last 5 field goals, but the ball is moving. They're playing harder, yes, but they're playing with a purpose. They're not waiting for the other guy. They're doing it together.
Georgetown ball out of the timeout. Blair, quick catch and shoot for 3, well off the mark, and Reeves grabs the rebound. See here, get a little antsy.
Yeah, see if Providence can get back to where they were in the first half. And really, this game started with some cheap fouls by Georgetown, some silly fouls.
Well, 2 quick fouls for Javon Blair, who just picked up his 3rd. And that was such a key because Georgetown coming in, no Mac McClung. They were already shorthanded and things snowballed from there. And in the first half, it was that man, Alpha Diallo, leading the charge.
So that's too easy right there. You can't get picked off and no one guarding him at the rim, out of bounds under.
He's got 16 points. Pickett from the corner, well off the mark again. 2 straight air balls out of that timeout from downtown for Georgetown.
Okay, so Georgetown, you've made some threes. Now, how about a shot fake, put it on the floor, and get that thing to the basket? Don't take the defense off the hook because you want to shoot threes and you made a couple. Don't take the refs off the hook either. Keep the pressure on them.
Reeves, see if he's still feeling it from the first half. That one's off the mark and out of bounds. And Cooley's team got that basket on their first possession out of the timeout to stop that 11-0 Georgetown run. A 7-6 start to the season for Providence. And we spoke at length about it in the first half. They didn't look like a 7-6 team the first 20 minutes of this game. And Nate Watson picks up the foul underneath, his 3rd. Third team foul against the Friars. Open look from the corner. Allen off the mark. Pickett fighting for the offensive rebound. It's swiped out of bounds off of Reeves.
Marco Pickett doing a great job sticking his nose in offensive rebound. But Diallo right there to poke it away.
Number 7 fighting for position inside. Good ball movement around the perimeter here. Ends up in the hands of Blair. Another offensive rebound for Pickett. And another foul against the Friars. Watson's 4th. So 2 fouls for Nate Watson on this trip down the court.
That first half, Ed Cooley played 9 guys and might be forced to play 8 the rest of the way, at least until we get deep into this game. Look, a 22-point game. Georgetown doing the right thing. Chip away. They're 6 of 13 in this half.
Yeah, but they were 6 of 8. They've missed their last 5 shots, and now they turn the ball over. Pipkins steps through, throws up for Reeves, but he can't finish. Allen gets the defender off his feet, and a reach in underneath against David Duke. Duke thought he was off to the races. Here's what could have been on the other end for Providence. The athleticism by Reeves.
And he's pointing, throw that thing up. He brought it back a little bit too far.
Little floater in the lane for Mosley, comes up short. Duke running again. He has Pipkins on his right-hand side, lays it off for him. Nice fast break there for the Friars.
Absorbs 2 Georgetown defenders, and instead of trying to force it, finds a wide-open teammate underneath in transition.
7th assist for David Duke. Good position for Mosley, comes up short, but your 7 follows it up.
Yeah, Jacob Mosley's done a good job this half, turning the corner. He's come up a little short, but I like the effort. Would love to see Yurt 7 continue to stay involved on that offensive glass. You said they started hot, went on a little bit of a lull. Glass is wide open.
Good job stepping into the passing lane by Mosley. Blair trying to draw the foul again. Nothing doing that time. Diallo clears the glass. Diallo took his eye off at that time. Sloppy play on both ends. You see the turnover count, 12 for the Hoyas, 10 now for Providence, 5 of them already in this second half. Pickett, a couple steps behind the line, and that's the 5th three-pointer of the second half for the Hoyas.
And no contest. You can't let a guy like DeMarco Pickett just stand there and look over you and shoot a deep one.
Providence has gone quiet. Georgetown back within 19 points. This was a 31-point lead for Providence at the half. Georgetown has trimmed 12 points off of that. Another turnover. Blair, bounce pass. Pickett couldn't handle it. Loose ball. Still fighting for it. It's out of bounds. And a missed opportunity there for the Hoyas.
Blair's got to hold that ball, throw it up high for your big fella. But Georgetown coming out with a much better performance, much better effort in the second half. Still a ways to go, but you got to love the fight from the Hoyas.
Here in Providence, the Friars, a 64-45 lead over the Hoyas. Georgetown, though, has trimmed 12 points off of the Providence halftime lead. Patrick Ewing, though, looking for more.
Let's keep getting stops. We need to keep getting stops and then come down this end and execute. Execute. Hey, you can't stand straight up. You got to be down ready. They're going to rip you. They're going to flex cuts. We have to be down. We have to get ready. But they ran flex that time. You didn't even see it. You got to wake up.
Yeah, when you're standing straight up defensively, you have no chance to get down and stay in front of anybody. Plus, you're just not in athletic mode. It's easy to look over the top or around you. And And that's where this game is going to have to be changed for Georgetown if they want to get back into it on the defensive end. But I love that he continues to coach. A lot of coaches will say, look, we're down 25, down 20, whatever it is. And they'll just say, all right, if you guys want to do it, go ahead. But Pat continues to coach these guys. He understands this game, still, win, lose, or draw, you can use this later in the season.
Diallo misfires on an open three. Rebound bounces into the hands of Blair. Allen right at the basket. And it's down to a 17-point game.
For Providence, has to be done with the pass.
Pipkins kicked away.
You take a chance there, but that's when I think you dribble it out, run your stuff, take a little time off the clock. I'm not saying play slow down basketball right now. It's not a four corners type thing, but use that clock to your advantage. You see Georgetown's got it going a little bit. Run your stuff.
Providence has run into a little foul trouble here in the second half. Nate Watson, who's, I guess, their best interior scoring presence tonight, has 4 fouls. He's on the bench right now. Cross court for Pipkins. And with 4 seconds on the shot clock, a seemingly needless foul against Allen.
And you did the job. You got Pipkins to get off of that three-point line, make him uncomfortable, and then you just reach out and grab his wrist.
Second foul on Allen, again with 4 seconds on that shot clock. So it goes back to 20. They find White back door, and it's a blocking foul underneath against Mosley.
I love that play. A little double back door there. You think you stopped the first one. Diallo cuts. And then here comes White right after him, and Mosley just couldn't get outside of that circle in time.
Third team foul against Patrick Ewing's Georgetown Hoyas as Malik White, 76% free throw shooter, to the line. .1 game at the half. Providence has led by as many as 33 in the second half.
Crowd's gotten much quieter too. I think they sense that, maybe Providence has let their foot off the gas a little bit, trying to watch that clock, but Georgetown has you got 10.5 minutes.
We got 10.5 minutes. We have Georgetown, the highest scoring team in the Big East this season, 82 points a game. So they can light it up. The question with them is, can they guard? But they're guarding in the second half, and there's your 7th.
Yeah. I just think that he's a willing enough passer to be able to throw it into him. You make your cut. If a double comes now, he's going to make the right play. But he's got to get touches, keep the pressure on Providence's big guys downstairs.
Holt, a step behind the three-point line. And that one's going to be against the Hoyas.
Just Jagan Mosley just pushed off with the left arm. He was scrapping down there with Alpha Diallo. It's one thing to get a guy off of the block or out of position with your body, but as soon as you extend an arm, and just take a look right here. It's going to happen left side of your screen coming in, and we saw just the end of it. Just a tiny bit of shove when Diallo started to jump for that rebound.
Tough shot for Diallo. Providence can't make him pay. Friars back on their heels right now. Georgetown, the aggressive team in the second half. Pickett posting up. Tough shot inside, and Young grabs the rebound.
Yeah, and you got to where you wanted to get to. It was gummed up though, because Georgetown was already standing in the middle of the paint. Spacing wasn't great there.
The crowd here in the Dunkin' Donuts Center trying to will the Friars offense back to some sort of continuity. There's been a rocky second half and another turnover here.
Spacing is so poor. Even when you run that little flex action.
You're at 7 down the lane.
Oh, that's a tough one. They would have loved that.
Well, one side wants to travel,
Right.
the other side wants the basket to count. So nobody's happy.
Yeah, the officials, you can't please anybody when you're an official.
I think everyone might have been right. Maybe an extra step back.
Which one happened first? The chicken or the egg? Which one came first?
Well, it's the fourth foul against Khalif Young. So Young has 4. Watson has 4. That's the front line of this big Providence team. Young is still on the floor with those 4 personal fouls.
Don't need it. Georgetown gets in the game. You don't need to be a playmaker. You get the ball in, you catch it. You got to value your possessions, especially when you fought your way back to here. Well, that's just lack of playing time, and Patrick Ewing is thinking that right now. Get the ball in, hold it, someone will come get it from you.
He doesn't have many other options to go to on that Georgetown bench. That's the catch-22.
But look, you're in a Georgetown uniform. You got to have some type of feel for the game. It wasn't luck that got you here.
Well, this game is really slowed to a crawl in the second half. Sloppy play on both ends. 16-point lead for the Friars. Holt's going to fire away again from the top of the key. Long rebound, and there's Mirasan giving it up right away.
That's what you want.
He heard you.
Find the ball handler. Almost 5 minutes since Providence has had their last field goal. It's a game of runs, this college basketball. It's also a game of slumps.
We've seen a couple of big slumps tonight. This is what they want. You're at 7 on the baseline, though. Forced into a tough shot by Young.
And there's an example of using your body to push the guy out of his comfort zone, not your arms, not your hands.
Diallo had the fast start to this game. 3 straight double-doubles for him coming in. Pipkins splits 2 defenders. As it knocked out of his hands, it'll stay with the Friars.
Scorekeeper's falling asleep over there. Nothing for him to do. Neither team has scored in 2 minutes for Georgetown, 2:20 for Providence.
Providence has 11 points in the second half. And they have a 16-point lead. That's hard to do.
Wow. I guess that's called getting your work done early. There you go.
Needed that one. Diallo brings it home. 18 for him. And the lead back up to 18.
Wake up, scorekeeper.
If nothing else, it gets the crowd back into it a little bit here at the dunk. So this turnover by Diallo, forcing it, and then he draws the foul.
Now for Diallo's led his team in the first half, huge first half, and you got to go to your senior when you need a bucket. Nice little 15-foot pull-up, and Patrick Ewing. Man, that look says it all.
Learn how the American Cancer Society is teaming up with coaches at coachesversuscancer.org. Back here in Providence, an 18-point second-half lead for the Friars, 67-49. The Friars went nearly 2.5 minutes without a field goal. That streak was broken. Ed Cooley hopes that his team's back on track.
Good for them, they went on the run. Don't gamble on defense. Do what we do. It's okay. It's not like we don't trust it. Don't turn it over. Be confident offensively and do what we do. Do what we do.
That's all you need. That's the message. This is a team in Providence that averages 10 steals a game. They're right at that. So don't overcommit. You don't have to try to get 15 steals. Now, we've done our job. Don't gamble. Stay home. You got 7.5 minutes or so. You walk out of here, you start your 2020 year the right way.
Meanwhile, it's been a big difference in the play for Georgetown between the first half and the second half. Outscoring Providence 26-13 since halftime. And you see their numbers much improved across the board. It started with those 4 consecutive three-pointers that they came out and hit out of the locker room to kind of get back into this game a little bit.
If this game started at 6:30, Georgetown would be happy right now. They were just a little bit, they're about an hour late with their start.
Well, sometimes the hole you dig can be a little bit too deep.
Yeah.
33-point deficit early in the second half. They got it down to 16. Right now trailing by 18. 7.5 to play.
Yeah, no hurry for Providence.
Nate Watson back on the floor, playing with 4 fouls for the Friars.
Sense of urgency right now at that 7-minute mark for Georgetown. It has to be there.
Here at 7, trying to work against Watson. Very physical underneath. Good job by Watson. They couldn't get him the ball. Blair made his first start of the season tonight. Little step back near the top. And Duke skies for the rebound. Knocked away by Yurt 7 for a moment.
Great job defensively by Providence, though. That you saw exactly coming out of that huddle what Georgetown wanted to do. Go downstairs to Yurt 7. Wasn't happening.
Yurt 7 has his 7th double-double of the season tonight. And it's the 4th personal foul against Terrell Allen. You see on the graphic at the bottom of your screen, 16 fouls for both teams. Both teams will be in a penalty from here on out. Now, Pipkins has a little bit of a streak going this year from the free throw line. He hasn't missed.
Thought you were going to jinx him right there for a second.
You know what? When you get up to 26 for 26, which he is now, it's hard to jinx the guy.
I've seen it. It's been done.
That's a smooth move. That might be jinx proof. Good timeout for Ed Cooley. Providence's lead back up to 20. With a pick up a win in their Big East opener. Let's take a look now at the playbook sponsored by Lexus.
Well, I know usually our playbooks are high-flying dunks and threes and all that, but this to me is the most important part of why Providence has this huge lead. If they can hold on, it'll be the biggest reason that they've won this game. Defensively, done a great job of making Georgetown uncomfortable, not allowing them to get to their spots, and at the end of shot clocks, contesting, forcing Georgetown to take hard shots. That's why G-Town is shooting 35% from the field. Credit to Providence's defense.
And that's as big a reason as any. While Providence has a 69-49 lead, 6.5 to play here. New Year's Eve, second half. Good atmosphere inside the Dunkin' Donuts Center. The Friars looking to close this one out and send these people off to celebrate their New Year's. Allen fires away out of that timeout. That was called by Ed Cooley. Yurt 7 on the other end is slow to get up. It looked like he bagged knees, and they're going to stop play and allow Yurt 7 to walk it off.
And you hope it's just running good. It looks like he might have just banged knees down low. You can't see it there. Just gets tangled up. But he did run off by himself. Didn't have to be helped, so that's good. And that's all Georgetown needs is for another one of their players to be out.
Scorer, too. They're already playing without their second leading scorer, Mac McClung, tonight. He's out after getting poked in the eyes in Saturday's win against American. He's day-to-day. They hope to have him back for their next one, which is Friday at Seton Hall. Yurt 7 already with a double-double, his 7th of the season. Timothy Igwefe has replaced him.
If you're Ed Cooley right now, you want to see your guys this last 5.5 minutes play the right way.
Shot clock winding down, and Pipkins has to fire it in.
And you run that nice little flex offense. It's really compact. And as soon as you fall asleep on that down screen, it's only a 15-foot jumper.
Little Euro sidestep for Javon Blair.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Euro step in and then away from the basket to about 13 feet with a one-handed floater. And Patrick Ewing, the look on his face was like, what? I guess that's the beautiful and the ugly about this game is sometimes you see things that you're like, wow, I've never seen that before. And then other times you're like, I've never seen that before.
We saw some beautiful play in the first half.
Yeah.
That is not
boy, oh boy.
included. Now, interesting, Yurt Seven just got up and tried to check in the game, and Ewing just waved him back to the bench. I think with his team down by 22 points, less than 5 minutes to go, he might want to save his best player for the final 17 games of the rigors of the Big East schedule.
But it's promising that Yurt Seven got up to try to get back in the game.
Wanted to play. Blair will give that one another try from the wing. And he's got 10 points. Well, Providence could be the classic case of, it's a cliche, Donnie, but everybody is 0-0 when conference play begins.
Yeah.
A rough non-conference portion of the schedule, a couple of uncharacteristic losses. They look pretty good for large portions of tonight.
You know, sometimes there is a lot of emphasis and focus put on the start of conference play, and teams, you know, they lack in that when you think about the priorities of non-conference play because they're so worried about conference play, and maybe that is what Providence was dealing with. And Eddie Cooley had a lot of guys to play. He's trying to figure out a lot of different options, and sometimes it takes coaches and teams just a little bit longer, even veteran teams. But this is when you want to be playing at the highest level.
Ed Cooley's team on its way to a 1-0 start in Big East Conference play.
Oh, look at that dime in the finish. Nate Watson, Providence, looking good.
All right, Mike Hill. That should be a good one in Jamaica, Queens. Providence on its way to starting the Big East season 1-0, a 73-52 lead, 3.5 to play on their home floor here over the Hoyas. Big East schedule off and running. A couple of good games to get things going last night, Donnie.
Terrific games. You know, Seton Hall, I mean, well, you just can't say enough about Kevin Willard and his coaching. And you lose Miles Powell, you stay where you're supposed to be. Then Miles Powell comes back, 27 points. I mean, they don't skip a beat, and that's all on Kevin Willard and his coaching. And then obviously Villanova, man, Jay Wright. We've been indoctrinated with Villanova and the style of basketball. And Butler, St. John's. I mean, this conference, we talked to Pat Ewing before the game. He said, there are no bad teams in this conference. There aren't. And Providence is showing that. You know, they were at the bottom when you talk about overall record, but I agree with Patrick Ewing. Every team in this conference has a chance to win this thing this year.
The worst team in the conference, based on net rating, is Providence, and they had a 33-point lead here tonight.
Yeah.
To your point. Nice move inside a moment ago for Eagle Efe, by the way.
And look, this game at the end here, Patrick Ewing recognizes, let me give my young fella a chance to get in there and see what he can do.
So DePaul lost last night to Seton Hall. They're up next for the Friars as they hit the road. Travel out to the Midwest for DePaul and Marquette. And then back here for a couple, Butler, St. John's, before heading out to Creighton. All these games here on FS1.
If you want to get an experience, a basketball experience, go to a game out in Omaha and see Creighton play. Let me tell you, from their fans to the arena, it's one of my all-time favorite cities to be in for college basketball.
And that wasn't an atmosphere you got to play in during your days in the Big East. This new reconfigured Big East.
That place, man.
You played in some places, though.
Yeah, we played in a lot of NBA buildings, and I give credit to a lot of these schools that have tried to create that atmosphere without it being, in an actual NBA building, and Creighton is one of those.
For the biggest game in town out there in Omaha. So Georgetown, they'll see their 6-game winning streak come to an end tonight. And the road ahead ahead for them is going to be tough, depending on the health of Mac McClung, Omer Yurtseven. Hopefully, the knee issue, not a big thing.
Yep. Look, every team in the Big East coming into their openers, winning record. Providence 7-6 still coming into tonight, but it speaks volumes of how tough this conference is going to be this season. Seton Hall, 4 losses, but to me, the best player in the Big East, in Miles Powell, down a few. So much to look forward to this season in the Big East.
Georgetown will get a look at Miles Powell and Seton Hall Friday night here on FS1. And then the Johnnies will take on Georgetown. The surprising St. John's Red Storm.
11-2, man. I mean,
a couple of big wins. West Virginia, Arizona on a neutral court. Mike Anderson doing a good job in his first season.
Talk about coaching. That dude can coach. Kidding me?
Never had a losing record. It's not by accident in his 18th season. So Khalif Young is fouled out of this game. It's easy to do that with an 18-point lead. He goes to the bench with a smile on his face. Butler St. John's coming up next right here on FS1. It's hard to pinpoint who the early season surprises are in the Big East, but Butler and St. John's have to be very close to the top of that list.
You know, Butler always, to me, seems to, if you're talking about, you know, being ranked, yes. But I never question what Coach Jordan has done there in his short tenure at Butler. You just know going in there it's going to be a fight. They're going to be fundamentally sound. They're going to compete. They find ways to win and make you just feel uncomfortable. I would say Coach Anderson at St. John's, because you never would assume a guy takes over. He's got pieces here and there. Some guys leave. It's a different area of the country for him to recruit in to do what he's doing. To me, hands down, that is the most fantastic piece of not just winning, but coaching that's happening in the Big East this year, and maybe even across the country.
They lost 3 starters, including Shamori Pons, one of the leading scorers in the history of that program, and did that in 3 years.
You got to come in a short time and convince guys that you care about them, one, because players want to feel that you care about them. Then you got to get them to buy into your system.
Sign of appreciation for the hustle of Alpha Diallo. The final minute and a half, and his team up by 16. And as I say that, an offensive foul against Malik White.
Alpha Diallo has to be all that work I just did, man. And then you give them the ball. A terrific night for Alpha Diallo. Way to lead from the start of this game. Helped his team get that huge lead. You know, you're a senior. I talked to him before the Texas game, and he understood the importance of being a senior, going out the right way. You know, through your play, vocally. Showed it tonight.
Igo Efe with his second bucket. Diallo 18 points, 8 rebounds. So barring something unforeseen, his streak of 3 straight double-doubles will come to an end. But first, he's going to shoot a couple of free throws. And he really set the tone in this game tonight. Providence came out, scored the first 14 points, and never looked back. And this is back-to-back performances for them, Donnie.
And I thought the shot selection was the difference in both of the Texas game and this Georgetown game for Providence. They were patient early. They had a game plan. They didn't just come out and take whatever the defense gave them. They said, we're going inside. We're going to pound the ball inside, see how they play it. We gotta, you know, sometimes you think we're just gonna go out, we know what we're gonna get. Doesn't always work out that way. They had a game plan, they stuck to it tonight.
And even 20 for Alpha Diallo. In his Big East opener. Final minute here in Providence.
Georgetown, listen, it's not going to be as easy as saying, hey, we didn't have Mac McClung. They're going to learn a lot about themselves and their effort and how they start games. They're still a team you got to worry about every single night.
Emmett Holt grabs the rebound. And the final 30 seconds of the decade for these two programs will tick off. Providence shaking off the 7-6 start in the non-conference slate. They'll be 1-0. For Georgetown, work to do ahead of Friday night's game in Seton Hall.
Terrific game for Providence. Way to end 2019 and way to start the Big East season.
So the final score from Providence. The Friars beat the Hoyas 76-60. For Donnie Marshall, I'm Pat O'Keefe. Let's head back to Mike Hill in Los Angeles.